Right, let's continue, shall we? And advance to the next area. Ooh, new music, I like it. Oh, Arhu?
Hail, Source Hunter. Good to see you've reached Luculla Forest. There were times when I came to this neck of the woods just to whiff its wholesome air. Alas, that it is thick with sorcery these days. It surrounds us here, like an invisible mist. Takes cat's eyes to see it creep. Even so, it's plain as day to the east, all about Ikara's cabin. Immaculates beset it, no doubt under Leandra's orders. If she has ordered such thorough defenses of her sister's cabin, we may be certain that whatever lies within will be a prize more precious than butter-baked plaice. That means Ikara herself must be there, Hunter, and it is essential that you find her. Only she can shed light on the details of Leandra's plans.
Thank you for your counsel, Arhu. It's time to mosey on. Also, we can see that he's only level 20 now. Does he have anything new? Could buy a couple of those. I mean, I've said for a while that I need some damage besides just fire damage. But this would mean investing 2 points into Geomancer level 2. This is all the old stuff, I think, huh? Reflect 15% of any damage. Oh, I currently have something similar.
Ha! Zigzags would see you dash rather than mosey. But matters such as these require a thoughtful approach.
I agree.
Leandra and her cronies may be lunatics all, but they're far from brainless. So be wary, Hunter, and be safe.
Luculla Forest, Silverglen Road. Find the witch. Arhu told us that Ikara's cabin lies in the eastern woods of Luculla, but that he's seen immaculate activity in its vicinity. We must tread with great care. Witch's cabin, Silverglen. Silverglen is the village, right?
You call to Ulgraf. He
Did have a quest there, both I think with Medora. And what about Byra's daughter? What about Attenborough or something? Was that a thing that we should have done in Cyseal still? Let's go to the village first. It's beautiful here. Liking the soundscape. Beehive. Oh, also enemies. Level 9, Earth Elemental. Evil smelling flower. That seems like, yeah, the edge of the village. Should we try our metal here? Fight these Earth Elementals. How long does this last? 3 turns. So I might want to do that before the fight a lot of the time, right? Just so that I don't... Right. Oh well. And then just move forwards, I suppose.
Warm as dragon's breath.
Bless on her. Then move forwards a little bit. Also, damn it, too late. Oh. So Woolgraf can fast track. Yeah. Walk in shadows. Get over here. Oh, her. She's very slow, huh? Force that away, 10 meters, that's 6, so I'd have to walk 4. It's probably not gonna be enough. Maybe. Oh yeah.
A lucky break.
Everyone's just hyping themselves up. Blessing everyone. Does that earth damage and knock down? Well. Damn. We're doing good damage on the elemental. Is it done? It is done. Well, I guess it's gonna be kinda hard to knock these over, right? Also, there must be a way of... There must be a way of... Wow. There must be a way of knocking over both. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is what I mean exactly, right, with the imprecise interface. I mean, there clearly would be a way if it wasn't jumping around. Well... let's do 1. Immune to knockdown, yeah. Could knock down one of them. Also immune to knockdown. What the hell? Okay. I'd like to avoid going through the... Yeah. Through the fire. What? Why am I poisoned? Because there's poison there, I suppose. Now don't you tell me I'm not... Oh. Right, I am behind him. No, I'm not. That's like right smack behind him now, right? That's a lot of exploding going on. Well. Okay, that's good to know. They explode and leave like a couple of oh, he's gonna get a lot of damage from the poison and burning. Also, I don't know, how does the frickin' leadership work? Is she too far away? So do I want to do ricochet? Will that hit the others? Yeah. So that was kind of good, I suppose. Treat poisoning? Oh, well, he's way too far away. No! Not Woolgraf! Okay. He might just die next turn. How far are they away? 26. So I need to walk 9 meters. Which will always be 4 AP. Which leaves enough for a fireball. So if I move 4... it'll always or also put me in range of... oh, what? Oh! You gotta be kidding me. I could put Avatar of Fire on him. But that would mean... not the biggest fan. But that'll kind of make him survive. Well, now... yeah. I mean, as long as they're... wait, what the fuck? Shambling Oak? Where'd that come from? Now they're all attacking the tank, which is fine, I guess. Also, I kind of forgot one of the most important bits. Just this. Do I want to... just straight up heal him? I think so. Oh, target is too far. I still can do this. And then I can still taunt.
I can thwart your every move.
Right, she's reflecting now. Okay, her turn again. Perfect. So, how about a fireball now, motherfuckers? Yeah, it should do good damage on them, right? Also on her, I suppose. Because they're forest creatures. My fire magic is gonna be super powerful. Man, these guys are poisoned and everything. Wait, does the poison heal them though? Yeah, it does. So I might have to do that. Oh, does earth damage... it's always confusing to me that earth and poison are different. Right. Wait. That only killed one of them. So Woolgraf's still poisoned. Wait, what just happened? I don't get it. Why did that happen in the middle of my turn? Also, he's kind of kind of has my his back turned to me. So if I just do this, right? Or does that also kind of damage me again? Ah! He really needs a heal now. I hope the others are still... taunted. Good. Oh, we won. Okay. Fuck!
Healer!
Heal yourself. Could you get out of the... still? Yeah. No, I won't end up having to drink a potion. Just barely. Okay. That was actually not so easy for just like a random fight like that. Also, let's put out the fires.
In the rain, no.
We don't want to start a forest fire after all. Noble push dagger. What's that? Nurid Ovra never empty beer mug? Take a swig. Nurid Ovra was known for brewing the best beers in all of Rivellon. His beers were so good even the elves could be persuaded to drink Ovra's heavenly fluids. One day the elven sorcerer Salahir blessed Nurid by enchanting one of his mugs.
Lucky find!
Tree trunk. Bet people hide stuff in there all the time, right? So there's the city, but we can also go around it a little further.
I feel uneasy here. I'd better keep my weapon at the ready.
Ooh, what does that mean? Probably that we shouldn't walk around unhealed. Could you not walk into the poison, fuckers? Okay, so who am I fighting? Blood Wasp. Where they come from? Well, they do have high initiative, it seems. Well, I bet my nuts they're gonna be very susceptible to fire. Ooh, that's interesting. Stunned, poisoned, poisoned, weak. I mean, how about knocking them over? I feel like that's not gonna be extremely efficient. Immune to knockdown. Yeah.
Steady hand, Strongets!
Let's try and do this at least. Oh, there's another evil... Oh, there's evil-smelling flowers. There's... Ooh, a lot of them. I feel like we might be slightly screwed. Like, okay, that hits... I mean, Fireball is our weapon of choice here, of course. So there's 3 here. Could hit 3 here or 3 here. Or do I? I mean, maybe I do want to do Midnight Oil.
Waste not a drop of this precious oil.
And then this. Ooh.
Behold the power of mages!
And then this... Wait, what? This made everything burn, but it also made everything poisoned. Okay. These ticks don't do much, so I don't really need to pay attention. Damage minus 50%. Does that refer to everything? Maybe. Maybe then I should just cast Survivor's Karma and a First Aid. It's bleeding, crippled, and diseased. Sure, I'll do this.
Sigurd's advantage!
I mean, it does a lot on her, as it's a percentage-based heal. Da. Why are they attacking Woolgraf? Weren't you... like taunted or something?
Again.
So what do we have? Could get a zombie nick. Crushing Fist won't help much. That's interesting that my knockdowns don't really work here. Could do an Encourage. And then just clobber at them. Although I'm not sure physical damage will do very much. What else could we do? Rain? Nah. Slow? Nah. Okay, I'll hit him. Does an okay amount of damage. So there's... again, there's 3 here, there's 2 there. There's 2 there, so... this'll probably kill him, huh? Wait, what? Why was that so bad? That should have hit all 3 of them. Or did I just not see the damage? Yeah, it did damage them, but for some reason didn't kill him. They're probably hovering. So I wouldn't be surprised if... no? Slashing, piercing 50%, yeah. If surfaces don't do anything for them... sure. I'll set them afire. Now... she's still weakened. But a good old ricochet... has never hurt, right? Can't... oh.
Once my arrow tastes blood, it craves more.
That wasn't good, I suppose? I don't know. I want to cure someone's poison. Now we're good. No! Not the mage!
I'm fading.
Yeah, well... she's still in the state where she can't be healed? No. But I don't have... the... also, why does she have full health here? She has like 6 and the next tick's gonna heal her. Kill her, I mean. That's slightly problematic. Can't Crushing Fist those. How are these still alive? Damn it. They're burning. They should die soon, though. So I think I'm just gonna knock these out. Ooh, so I think I definitely want to heal her poison, so she like survives. Could do this. Is she still weakened? Yeah. I'll save. Does this also... it also, yeah, extends to arrows, unfortunately. So I could just do this, which doesn't kill either of them. Well, now I could. There's quite a few threats though.
Prepare to be pumped.
That doesn't kill either of them. And they're up next. So bad. I kinda don't wanna use 2 scrolls after this fight, but it feels like I might have to. So that'll kill it, huh? No, it does. Wow. I hope the burning will do the rest of my work for me here. Well, that was 2. That's kind of a chain reaction sometimes, right? So I could do this.
Face the unending darkness.
Which means just that guy's alive. And the wasp's here, though. Okay, couldn't do anything. Good.
Your grave opens to welcome you.
Okay, I think we got it. Oh, wait. That one still has a lot of health, though. Can't see target as well. So let me check something. So this does 65 to 101. And if I go into power stance, it does more. So I should, and the special arrows always hit, right? So I always need to fire my special arrows from my power stance. That's good to know. Fire damage. Fire arrow. Fire arrow.
Bones knit, skin healed.
Well, she's 7 meters away. Oh. Oh, you.
Stay the combat. Gods leech this evil from my blood.
Ha! She got healed by that, right? Because why? Poison resistance plus 100. Oh, so if you have a poison resistance of over 0 and you have this on, poison will actually heal you.
I'll grind you into a fine dust.
That do it? I think so. Okay, I think that was fine. That was fine.
I needed that.
Just need to resurrect him.
I was really hoping to find something better.
Aye. Lots of animal parts now. Okay. Another fight we survived. Oh, there's also another...
In the name of the goddess, halt!
Oh,
Who goes there?
another teleport. What you got for sale? Nothing. A source hunt.
In that case, you can rest easy, Hunter. There is no source to be found here. Only the glory of the Immaculates. Why, it's Silverglen, of course. Once the abode of miners, now the abode of the faithful.
Aren't you a cheery fella?
We have traded the search for silver for the pursuit of divinity. I'm sure this sounds strange in what as strange as is, but you must know that but a short while ago, a frightful sickness felled us by the dozen, until she who speaks for the goddess brought us a cure.
Did she now?
She showed us how we may overcome the frailty and even the decrepitude of our mortal bodies. That is why we now live a life of devoutness and civility, so that we may become immaculate. But I suggest you talk to Father Loic if you want to learn more about the ways of the goddess. Be welcome, therefore, to Silverglen. Blessed be all Immaculates.
It's a lot of fancy words there, dude. Hope you know what you're talking about.
Seem to be a friendly enough bunch.
Seem being the operative word.
Yeah.
Let's remain vigilant.
Okay, let's go inside.
Beware of the lost ones out there, Wanderer. Their blood is impure.
Not so far now. Till a level. F3.
Over here, Hunter. It's me, Arhu.
Oh, Arhu! Seems like Arhu's gonna be sticking around with us for a while. I don't mind
Into the
that
fray
one bit.
once more. Back on my feet again.
Okay, so everyone's healed back up.
Psst. Over here, Hunter.
Yeah,
It's me,
yeah.
Arhu.
You can't get enough of us, can you, little cat?
Source Hunter. You've made it into the hamlet of Silverglen, I see. Unnerving spot, don't you find?
Why don't you
Leandra
just
has
join our
fashioned
party?
herself a hero here, but the townsfolk don't seem to know the truth behind the conduit, though they call themselves Immaculates. They're thick as trout, if you ask me, and unnaturally obsessed
Nice.
with ancient teachings.
Thick as trout.
I haven't seen Leandra here myself, but she must have put on quite a show of magical mastery to enthrall a crowd of shaggy miners. To have them hop on the bandwagon of a shadowy religion wholly alien to them.
Which ancient teachings do you mean?
Haven't you heard them whisper of the blood? How their eyes shine when they discuss certain stellar stones?
Starstones?
Star stones, of course, which drenched in blood become bloodstones and are used in healing rituals.
I've heard of those.
Now, I can see how it could be a fantastic thing to nurse a dying human back to health, if all it takes is to sacrifice a toad. But I spy bloodlust in these people's eyes. A bloodlust that goes beyond the usual meaning of the word.
Yeah, also we've learned earlier that the way bloodstones work is that you need to sacrifice a life that's equivalent to save another life, right? So from what we understand, you can't just sacrifice a toad to save or resurrect a human. You'd have to sacrifice another human, probably. And the same goes for even more powerful beings. I don't know exactly how this is measured. Probably like your HP level or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's not as easy as it seems.
They all act like they're following a benign goddess that will lead them to paradise. But I'll be a dappled Dalmatian if any of that is true.
Since you've been scouting the place, perhaps you can tell me where I should start looking for shady goings-on.
I've been shadowing the local priest, a man by the name of Loic. I have the feeling he knows more than most in Silverglen, for I've followed him in the night when he meets with cloaked strangers, and goblins even. Mangoth, Hyberheim. Of strange things I've heard him whisper. Yes, this priest has shady goings-on written all over that smug, holier-than-thou face of his.
Mangoes? I'm down.
But we must start at the beginning, Source Hunter. The White Witch
White
is still
Witch.
at large. If we want to get to the true heart of Leandra's doings, we must start with her sister. And she's far likelier to be in her cabin among the trees than here among Leandra's followers.
Alright, I get it. Why are you walking about Silverglen in your cat form anyways?
The advantage of being a puss, my friend, is that one can pussyfoot. A white-haired wizard draws attention, but a cat can move about unnoticed and, indeed, unseen. Not that I'm not extra wary of these bloodsuckers, though. There's a conspicuous absence of pets in this eerie little town. The Immaculate's presence here is highly disconcerting. But we mustn't lose sight of our mission, Source Hunter. The White Witch resides somewhere in the wilds of the surrounding forest, and we must find her.
Sure. He's just, like, gently nudging us towards, not actually going here, but somewhere else. The cat wizard Arhu advised us to infiltrate the Immaculates by becoming one of them. Getting to know the enemy from within seems like a sensible plan. Okay, so join this posse, it seems. Oh, they don't mind if I plunder their barrels. Steal from their barrels. The vampires here. There's wooden stakes. Ooh, what? 150 gold just randomly lying around. Initiate.
Welcome to as holy a sight as you'll find in this region, my friend. Immaculate Greek.
Bye. Oh yes. Nice loot. Oh yes. It's more like a little post than an actual village, right?
May the
Never
goddess...
fear, friend.
Ugh.
The conduit has shown us the way to salvation, the way to perfect health. Goddess's blessings upon you.
What's wrong with your voice?
Welcome to as holy a sight as you'll find in this region, my friend. Immaculate greetings to
Wow,
you
expensive.
and yours.
It's like a potion that heals 50%, costs 500? Quite a bit. Ooh.
Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together.
I mean, don't I have gear that increases lucky finds as well?
Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together.
What's going on down there? Lucky charm. Should I just put those on while I... Actually, this is not much worse.
Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time?
41. 42. Sure, I'll wear this. So this... Doesn't require any strength or anything. 21. Who could use some armor rating? Her, probably, because she's actually kind of keeping up with her armor rating a little bit.
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know
Oh, he needs the movement boots though.
These goblins are worse than the
How about her? I mean, she's not gonna profit from this, is she?
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a
It's
bridge.
still gonna. Oh, it's 2 now. Haha, look at that.
Fresh blood.
So she has a lucky charm of 2 now. Both from gear. No. From romantic as well. Aha! What's going on here? Can I steal this? I could, but it's all gonna be stealing. Lawrence, hi.
Source hunter! My liege, I am at your disposal. I am Lawrence, the representative of the mining guild responsible for operations in Silverglen. Please, valiant hunter, let us know how we can assist you.
Ah, my liege. I also like how the reputation precedes us in a way, right? Just carries over from the last city, from Sicil.
Oh, I am no one special. Merely a humble servant of the guild and shepherd to the happy flock of miners within this settlement. My only cause for complaint, Your Grace, are these awful goblins. They're starving us out, refusing even a single honest miner his right to work. Perhaps, my most upright highness, you might be able to help us with this little problem. You must forgive me if I become somewhat overcome when discussing it, my liege. To think how I've been betrayed. To think how the humble miners of Silverglen suffer.
He's one of those guys.
I invited a tribe of goblins to assist
What
us
could
in
go
clearing
wrong?
the tenebrium from our mine, you see. The
Tenebrium?
leader of the troop, a certain spitting Satan named Drexis, promised to clear the tenebrium and be gone. When the job was done, though, he and his band of totem-brain fiends refused to vacate. They've kept close guard of the bridges to the mine since, and they'll slice whoever dares approach them into ribbons. These goblins follow Drexis like lemmings, Your Grace, and if only I could undo the traitor, they'd slither back to the swamp they crawled from. Drexis's head on my mantle would save countless miners from a slow starvation, my liege. What's one goblin over countless disenfranchised workers? Please, Your Grace, I am completely at your disposal. Those brutes! I invited them here to save our valued miners from the ill effects of clearing tenebrium, and those interlopers met my invitation with a hostile takeover. They haven't allowed a single human miner past them in months, and meanwhile my men have all but forgotten their vocation and turned instead to their damned religion.
I mean, it's oftentimes in fantasy worlds, it's like everyone's got perfect teeth, and they're clean, and their grammar is impeccable, and their vocabulary is varied, right? Which is always kind of a little bit weird to me, but I guess that's what high fantasy gets you. But in this game, man, I mean, some of the writing, it's good and funny, and there's alliterations and other stylistic devices and shit, which makes it fun to hear and listen to. But they've gone all out on the... Every schmuck you meet is like a perfect orator, right? Which is, I mean, it'd be neat if there was like some kind of contrast, and if like some people like eccentric wizards or whatever, or even like evil overlords would talk like that, but then you'd meet like a miner and he'd be like what up, mate, or whatever. I don't know. Which is, I like that aspect of like some of the more grittier fantasy worlds. Not that I'm saying like gritty is always better, but I like that like aspect of grittier fantasy worlds more, where you don't feel like don't want to get political, like maybe like a little bit, but maybe where you feel like in this world there exist no real class differences, right? You're just like painting over that. And I mean, there's a recent push in like social justice circles for fantasy worlds, like not to include overt racism and sexism, saying like, I don't actually know what the real argument is, but I guess it's like, these things are horrible enough in the real world, we don't need to replicate them in our fantasy worlds as well, especially if they're like very closely resemble real world racism and sexism. If it's of fantasy races, then it's like slightly different, I guess. But what would this... And I consider myself among that group, but what would like a social justice crowd say about classism and not having it in a game? Because I feel like kind of just erasing it from a game kind of erases the fact that even in a fantasy world there would be economic imbalances and injustices. And maybe you could make that a topic and that would be interesting. You know, as long as you don't just use it as like gritty texture, but actually say something with it, I feel like that could be valuable. And I think the same discussion... This is a bit of a tangent, but I think the same like discussion or argument applies for racism and sexism as well, right? It's not so much that... I mean, some people, I guess, are fundamentally opposed to having them in your worlds, but I think a lot of people would just say, rather, I don't mind having them, but don't just use them to, like, appear gritty or whatever. Don't just use them as accessories, like, and if you're gonna use them, try and say something, like have a good message or a good dialogue or interesting ideas about them in your world as well. Which I'm still not 100% sure I agree with that idea, but I'm also not 100% opposed to it either. Like, I do, like, kind of get that it can be annoying if you have, like, just, like, if you have this, like, gritty image and you just, like, throw shit into there to basically sell a game, right? Without having the courage to say anything about it. Maybe that's, maybe that's, like, the problem at the bottom of it all, is, like, having the courage to take a stand with the culture you're producing, and not just trying to pander to audiences and consumers. It's like, yeah, we're making this adult-themed fantasy game, so of course there's gonna be like boobs and racism and sexism in it. That's, I mean, all of these things are fine if you're courageous enough to explore what they mean, if that makes any sense, right? And if they make sense within your world and your story. That being said, I feel like this... I'm loving this game so far, like, apart from a few minor details when it comes to the interface and stuff. But I'm loving this game. But one thing... I feel like they played a little bit too safe is this whole aspect of... having real-life issues invade your fantasy world. I mean, this is very harmless high fantasy, right? It doesn't negotiate anything meaningful so far. It's just like, yeah, there's bad guys, you gotta kill them. And like everyone's like well off and the perfect orator, and there's no discrimination, which is, I don't know, which is one way of doing stories, but in the end it's yeah, it's a harmless, escapist way of doing it, I guess. Yeah, I'm not really saying anything, right? Which is just to say I don't really have strong opinions on this. It's just that I'm noticing. And I don't know. I like the Gothic games, or I like, for all their problems, the Witcher universe, where people would just... they'll just be clearly working class, and that's okay, right? doesn't mean that you like look down on them, like quite the opposite. It just means that your world reflects the idea that human societies often produce economic indifferences and injustices. What can you tell me about Tenebrium?
Useless stuff, my liege. Worse than common dirt. But 10 times as difficult to extract and infinitely more dangerous. If only we'd known in advance the terrible effect rot would have, we would have stopped trying to clear it immediately.
What is rot exactly?
Yes, a dreadful business that. I've been fortunate enough to avoid the sickness so far, my liege, but my heart truly breaks for the families of those who've been afflicted.
And we just another small tangent here, and I know I'm terrible with saying I'm gonna get back to the game and then I go on another tangent. But this could have been like, I mean, maybe people would find that annoying, but I feel like this could have been like so much more interesting as a quest, right? Because we're talking about, he's like, what, Miners Guild? So basically he's like a union guy or something, right? And we're talking about miners being in danger from... I mean, it can be fantasy stuff, it can be like kobolds, right? But you could make this into an interesting story where you're like, yeah, it's because we weren't like paid properly, or safety procedures weren't like acknowledged properly, and management just wouldn't pay us enough for safety, so we'd have to get these kobold mercenaries or whatever. And of course, like we outsourced the shit to like shady contractors, and of course shit went wrong, and now we need someone to clear it up or something. I mean, that would add like a little bit of texture at least, right, to this. Where you're like, yeah, I mean, this is a real thing that happens. Like, manual laborers being exploited and being expected to do dangerous jobs, basically. There could be like a source of disconnect. I mean, you wouldn't even need to get into like the political ramifications or whatever, but just like to need a little text, to add a little texture. I don't know.
You see, my liege, when a miner has been overlong exposed to tenebrium,
Yeah.
he begins showing certain symptoms. Gangrene about the extremities, fatigue, malaise. At first, we attributed these symptoms to, well, to poor diet, laziness, and general malingering. Had we known then what we've since discovered, we never would have continued operations. But alas, mistakes were made, and those we lost can never be brought back, no matter what that crackpot conduit would have one believe. My liege, you ought not to concern yourself with the fraudulent leader of a crackpot cult. Really, the whole affair is an utter embarrassment to Silverglen. Some insane huckster calling herself the conduit of the goddess made her way to Silverglen at the height of the rot's hold on our miners. The people were desperate, you see. When by magic or illusion she managed to cure a handful of them of the affliction, every last one of the bunch began speaking of her as though she were some messiah. Now most of the town is taken with her little cult of immaculates, as she calls them. Fortunately for her, she disappeared shortly after her little trick. Or I would have thrown her into prison and swallowed the key myself. Imagine hypnotizing an entire town with nothing more than snake oil. Enough to know the whole institution has been a blight on productivity. With the blessings of the to replace a sense of a job well done, the miners care hardly at all for getting the mines back in good working order.
So I guess he's more like management than a union guy, right? So yeah. That got slightly less uninteresting, but still. Lawrence, the representative of the mining guild, told us that goblins have overtaken the Luculla mines. He wants the head of Drexis, the goblin leader, for his mantle. And I mean, if this was a great RPG, right? Like what we haven't had so far
Remember when that redhead
in this
used to
game
come
at
by
all
and cheer him up?
is decisions, right? Or different ways of solving a quest.
Feeling sorry for that whiny lump of toll-taking fat.
If this was a great RPG with great writing, then maybe we could talk to a whole bunch of people, wiggle our way into the complex interrelations between power dynamics in this town, and eventually secure, I don't know, better protection for miners in the future.
Friend, this
Convince someone to do something about the systemic problem rather than just take care of the one problem with the goblins that went out of hand by killing their leader, which is such an cliché quest thing to do. But yeah, sure, I'll do it. Maybe I'm expecting too much from this game. Also, is that already it? Mine Overseer's office? What's in here? I haven't been in here. Miner. Brandon.
Source hunter, are you? What brings you to this neck of the woods?
28.
The goblins? The orcs? The cult? Or the whole pretty bouquet? Don't be surprised if you hear more than a few unkind words about yours truly around town. An overseer's got to enforce his share of unpopular guild decisions, you know.
Okay, they got a little bit of that.
I'm
sure.
finished with this one pony rodeo, though. I did my best by these roughnecks, and now it's time for old Brandon to take a load off. In fact, you may be able to help speed my retirement plan along.
You have someone.
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me.
What do you have, dear?
I'd kill for a beer.
Won't be a moment.
The gods, baby, because you're the answer to all.
Let's
Let's hear the details. I must say, I'm all...
I knew a source hunter'd perk up at the sound of a challenge.
I mean, I just don't want to pass up on a quest, right?
Between you and me, the Troll King's sitting on a piece of treasure of more value than even he knows. A metal called tenebrium that can fetch a prettier sum than its weight in gold. I intend to lift it, sell it, and live out the rest of me days in comfort. The devil's in the details, though, and I haven't managed to find a way to access the King's Cave, much less make off with the stuff without being noticed. But you're a source hunter. You can sniff out any point of mystery. So let's make a deal, You find the tenebrium and bring it to me, and I'll deliver you a few pieces of information about Silverglen, and Lawrence in particular.
Sure.
That are sure to make your mouth water. I wouldn't wish the wrath on me worst enemy, though. So let me give you a little something to contain the tenebrium bars. It's lined with the fragments of a special stone that keeps rats' ill effects at bay. Apart from Gungir's stature and incurable case of the uglies, it's not so different from a parakeet. Got a brain the size of a pea and a fervent passion for all things bright and shiny. The nutty oaf sits on a river of silver beneath these mines, but leases it to the mining company for a fraction of its worth in gold. He'd rather put those hefty minions of his on toll duty than mine these hills himself for 5 times the reward. I can't be certain myself where his cave is located, but at least one of those oaf lackeys of his must know where to look. They've got to do something with all the gold they've gathered in the course of guarding those damn bridges, haven't they? I'm no man to refuse a source hunter. Ask away, friend. That circus rolled into town shortly after the tenebrium was discovered. Some freak woman with a freak gemstone managed to cure rot by some strange magic and convinced most of the locals that she were the conduit of the goddess or some such tripe. A strange sort of substance, discovered here around 2 years ago, and folks have been clamouring to get their paws on the rancid stuff ever since. To the right buyer, it's worth more than diamonds. Ross! You're a curious sort of fella, aren't you? Ask around. Half the men here have a brother who died from it. The other half were cured by that cult.
Over here,
Laddin's actually invited those bug-eyed creeps here himself. The miners were dropping like flies, and goblins had more of a natural tolerance for the work. Little did we know they'd overrun the place in a matter of months.
Okay, Troll King.
Tell me, sweetie, do you have sunburn, or are you always this hot?
Oh, God.
That world-weary face is giving me shivers. What do you say we take a load off together? I do suppose I could find some way to entertain you. Oh, sugar, that's a story for another day, ain't it? Speaking of, yours and mine has hardly begun. What say we get better acquainted upstairs? I've got all kinds of, details
I love
to share with you.
I love how oblivious we are here, like, just like, so you have a bedroom?
Indeed I do. And I'm just itching to take you places you've only ever dreamed of, darling. What's a lousy 250 gold between an adventurer like you and a fine piece of tale like the one I've got in store for you? No, come now, honey. I promise to take you for a spin so wild you'll be begging for more. And more's my guarantee. Oh, go right ahead, sweetheart. Darling, I don't hardly recognise this place no more. Everything's changed since those silly Immaculates came into vogue. The miners, they used to spend their last penny on a backwards glance from yours truly. But now, they'd rather pray than play. Ugh, I just don't understand it. They just stand around and praise the so-called goddess all day long. I've no idea who she is, but apparently she gets her kicks from having blood sprayed all over her. Now, I knew a girl once who was into that kind of stuff. Her clients used to call her goddess and mistress too, but there was precious little divine about her.
Granny.
That was exhausting.
Always been Silverglen's finest attraction,
all
you
year,
know.
it seems.
Ramon? Ramon we haven't talked to. Oh, he's the one with the bad pickup lines, so. 1200.
Me? I'm Ramon.
Ramon!
I may not be a genie, but rub me right and I'll make your dreams come true.
Oh, God.
No questions, please. Ramon does not ponder. He does not wonder. He only loves.
What do I think of the fact that the male prostitute here is clearly gay?
Even true love has a price, angel face. Luckily for you, that price is but 250 golden coins. Fine. Break my heart. At least I'll go to heaven and see you there.
Break my heart? What kind of accent is that? Is that New York accent?
I passed the trial. Friend.
Is that a gay Spanish dude from New York? Windermere.
Where the wind blows, the goddess breathes. Where the rivers run, the goddess weeps. How can I connect you to our eternal goddess, my friend?
She seems sufficiently bored for this place. That's not bad. A wee bit. How good is her staff? Level 10, 44 to 87. Plus 1 leadership though. Dude. Water damage. We have Hydrosophist level 1, right?
What's your poison, sugar? Nothing stronger than a glass of water for me, thanks. Sure thing, darling.
How long does this last? 4 turns. Constitution raised by 3. I mean, that's quite a bit. Ah, it's adept though. I might want to level that with the tank. Ooh, what? 54. 16% fire. It's very expensive though, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's worth it right now. And Facade.
You call to Woolgraf.
No,
He
not
awaits your
Woolgraf.
queries.
Sorry, Woolgraf.
Goddess greetings, friend. Her greatness gave us fire, her greatness gave us earth, and my savvy brings you spells at the best rate in town. Come, give me your best offer.
Razzle Dazzle Grenade, I like it. Ooh, what? That's like a lot. That's like a level lower, but a lot more damage.
Can I get your hand?
I guess
for a beer.
Air is always more than fire. No. Oh, I guess because it's fatal or something. Because this is level 10. It does the same. To initiative. Interesting. Explode. Ooh. I mean, that means like getting in the middle of enemies. And also, more importantly, damages my other people around me. And it could... I mean, I might think about making my party very fire resistant with gear and stuff, right? Focusing on that very much. And then just use like self-immolation and explode at everything. That could be a very fun build.
Poison sugar. I'll have a glass of wine, please. Sure thing, darling.
I mean, it does more than, significantly more than Fireball. 3 meters of impact, 6 meters of impact. Huh. Well, this'll like basically kill her. Removes charm. Healing and shields. Ooh, interesting. Master. Launch multiple poisonous spores that each deal poison damage. Each to anything. Ooh. Midnight Oil. Tectonic Spray. Interesting. Especially the oil surface. Petrifying touch.
What do you have, dear?
I'd kill for a beer.
Coming right up.
You believe in the gods, baby?
These
'Cause you're the
goblins are worse
ancestor
than the
to all my
trolls.
prayers.
Half as dumb and twice as mean.
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a brick.
Coming right up.
Pickaxe Tavern. What a fitting name. Trethon.
Watch where you're going. These beauties will pierce you to the bone. So, do you fancy a trade then? Come
No,
now, before my ale arrives.
Fine.
There we are.
Ever shot a bullseye in your sleep? Well, no wonder with your skill book as empty as all that.
Is it empty though? Level 11.
Here you go.
And here's a shiny coin.
Enjoy.
Keep the change.
The man growls under his breath and flexes his muscles menacingly. Oh, he's the master at arms kind of guy. Okay, Ganache. 28. Why am I keeping... Oh, mostly for perception, right?
Waitress, what's your poison, sugar? I'll have a glass of wine, please. Coming right up.
Ooh, I found my new buckler, I believe. Because I was preferring the other one because +1 constitution is just so good, but this one has that as well.
Order, Paul.
16%. 43 HP, what? That's for the one shield specialist, though. Also... Ooh. I mean, this says burning and crippled, this says slowed. Also 35 HP. I want it.
Welcome to the Immaculate Bowl.
These
goblins are worse than the trolls. Half as dumb and twice as mean.
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a bridge aroma.
Better that than reeking of fresh blood.
Wanna have a good time? Come hither, sweetheart. Or if I had a star for
Helping hand, I wanted to keep that.
I'd like to order a drink, please.
I'd like to order a
Be
drink, please.
right there. What can I get you, hun? I'd kill for a beer.
Ah! The NPC chatter is making me mad. Driving me mad, rather. Vomisha.
Quite a fine skeleton beneath that
Oh.
hide of yours, isn't there? Yes, a lovely, sturdy thing. I bet it'll last 100 generations, if treated properly.
Scoundrel. And witchcraft. 30 to 50. Is that more than he has? No.
There we are.
Here you go. Here's the shiny coin. Enjoy.
Even the gods gave me. Give you the answer to all my questions.
That's a tasty bit.
We're a mile away from the goblin camp.
Paul.
Give one of the comfort folk a visit, if you're in the mood. I recommend Ruby for her imagination. But Ramon's fierce as a wildcat, if that interests you.
That's a tasty beverage. Oh, you startled me. Let me compose myself. Hello, stranger. How can I help you?
Oh, that's this girl.
Oh, me? Oh, I'm just the waitress around here, as you can see. My husband, Blosius, is a legionnaire, currently stationed in Sicil, but I haven't heard from him in far too long.
Here's his will, which is also written in stutters for some reason. Maybe he thought he was being cute.
His will? But that means he's... Oh, no. Oh, not my cutie, broody buttercup.
Oh!
Waitress.
There was treasure there.
What can I get you, hun? A straight shot of the eye, please. Sure thing, darling.
No, don't steal.
Come hither, sweetheart.
The Legionnaire's will. We delivered Blossius's will unchanged to Marisa, and she thanked us warmly for doing so. I mean, didn't get anything for that, but I don't suppose the loot was life-changingly great, right?
Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well, never mind for now. What sort of magical relics can I offer ya?
55.
Blessed by the goddess they are, each and all.
+1 leadership, immunity to blind.
Here you go.
And here's a shiny coin.
Enjoy.
Keep the change.
.7.
Delicious.
Ooh, that's better than what she's wearing, isn't it? Slightly. It's also 3k. It's bold, 55 HP, blacksmithing.
Now that's a tasty beverage.
Can you stop talking? Thanks.
Now that's a tasty beverage.
Rage. I don't think I want that.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. You'll hardly impress the conduit with such a clouded look about your eyes. But not to fear, not to fear. I've just the potion for that.
Sure.
You dare disturb my
My
dominations. It must be that you can hardly wait to purchase an ingredient or two for a very urgent recipe. I'll forgive this imposition if you'll make me a generous offer.
We talk to Marisa? Yeah, oh, that's her.
They say a witch lives in...
Minor.
Waitress,
Praise the
service,
goddess!
please.
I'll pass the trial!
Friend, this is most excellent news. Welcome to the Immaculate Fold.
Yes! I can feel the goddess.
What the hell is this?
coursing through
What can
Empty
I
bottle.
get you, hun? I'll have a glass of wine, please.
So just
Coming right up.
trade us. What's going? Ooh, what is that? Ooh, Bicky. That's an exoskeleton, isn't it?
You there! Back off! Bicky boom! One more step and Bicky boom!
No, don't go! Please help me! That thing is keeping me trapped here! It's crazy! It'll kill me!
Calm down! We're not coming any closer. Let's just talk about this.
Yes, don't worry, miss. We'll get you out of this fix somehow.
We just keep a trap shot or Bicky boom! No folks, shoot or Bicky boom! Last warning or Bicky boom!
Gods, the fuse is getting shorter!
Bicky the bomber. We met Bonnie, a prostitute being held hostage by a strange skeleton named Bicky. We managed to calm it down for now, but it claims to explode if we get too close. Can we... Well, that didn't work so well. Can we talk to it? Talk it out of it? I mean, knocking it down probably doesn't help, right? What if I stun it? Does it explode as well then? That would be her. No! Vicky! Not boom. Don't boom. Stunt don't help. Oh, it also gives us, what, minus reputation, because we're blowing up the inn. Well, I'm guessing this situation will probably not change for a while, so we can look at other stuff first. Can we, like, enter through the back door or something and surprise it that way?
Let me go, you little monster! Away with you!
No, Picky got that. He got the princess face.
Princess, huh? Okay. So I think we've pretty much seen everything there is to see in the city, right? Or is there... Oh, maybe we haven't been to these huts. Is there anything? Is it just stables? A smithy! With no one here. Also, if this isn't stealing, then I'll take it. On a chest, sure.
Oh,
Beer. Can't reach my butt. Okay, I guess we really can't. He's a trader. Nothing special though. Sabi.
Hello and welcome to our shop. I am the son of the proprietor.
Son of the proprietor.
Please let us know how we can help you. You've probably noticed that my mother Nadia and I aren't from around here. No. We traveled rather far from our hometown to plant new roots here in Silverglen. My father, Ben, his death was somewhat mysterious, and we've traced the puzzle back to this little settlement. My mother will have plenty to say on that subject, if you're interested. Ma's a bit intense, to be sure. Set in her ways, but fiercely loyal to the family. Help her out and you've got a friend for life. Cross her, and you'll be better off skipping town. Not that that'll stop her from cursing your line for the next 1,000 cycles of Bendis. My father was a good man, equal in character to his wife. His death nearly destroyed us, Ma and me. But now we're here, and we won't leave until we've held the proper parties accountable for their role in his death.
Gotta kill someone then, I suppose?
Farma Malbenita, a source hunter in Silverglen. I have traveled mile on top of mile to find help, and now help has, how you say, appeared from skinny vapors.
Seems like a good bow.
My story? Well, this is no small tale. I think perhaps you will be more interested in the, how you say, the short end of stick.
2,400.
I believe Lawrence, the leader of Mining Guild, tell my husband and many of other workers to mine deadly ore called tenebrium. Lawrence knew that this ore caused rot. Charming name, no? Yet ordered the miners to continue. Many men, my Ben among them, become the sickness. And now they, how you say, kick down the bucket. But the sickness, it is not normal. It kills swift and terrible, not unlike Source. My son Sebi and I travel from our home to find truth. But this has proven not so easy. My sweet little Pomargo Vizago, my darling Ben. We got along like, how you say, peas and ferrets. But He here there is work, very well paid, in mines, clearing special rock from silver mine. So he leaves Sebi and I to come to Silverglen. We wait with hearts like stones for some months. And one day we see familiar figure moving with strange steps on path toward cottage. We run to meet him and take him into our arms, but he collapses at our touch. We help him inside and set him to rest. But he was in terrible condition. Each hour he grow worse, rot so fast we hardly recognize him after 2 short days. He slip away from us, and we bury him with much grief. When his father die, Sebi become restless. Being of the age, he join army and go straight to
restless.
front line. Though I was nearly old woman, I join army as healer to be near and look after my boy.
Oh boy, I bet he loved that.
There we saw special legionnaire using strange weapon. And this legionnaire soon come to my tent with the same disease that killed Ben. I discovered the tenebrium ore in this weapon. It was the ore that killed them both. I come to Silverglen to discover truth. And here I find Lawrence, that arrogant man, conducts his business without apologize to any. Exactly this. Please, Source Hunter, you must help me prove that Lawrence made his workers to mine deadly tenebrium. For your help, I offer blessing from my homeland. Se vi mal successos, mi plantos seritzarbo kai tormenti via nepo sovgiai branco.
Is that a language that exists?
Translation is difficult, but it means something like, if you fail, I will plant cherry tree and haunt your grandbaby beneath branches. Good luck.
That's a great blessing.
I will do my best to give answer, Source Hunter. I have not found scrap of civilization among these apes. Sebi longs for heaping plate of my famous sire mule, but the local fairs support no fine food, unless squirrel meat inspire you. As for neighbors, well, those cultists would rather sacrifice supper to goddess than eat it. May Zalmoxis strike him down, the murderer! I have one goal in Silverglen, to make him share in the suffering he caused. I am certain he has gained from making those miners take the tenebrium. Now I have only to prove it. Fa! I have no interest in those emasculates and goddess. As Zalmoxis say in Book of Holy, I am jealous God. Why can I not read your mail if you have nothing to hide? Who is Aunt Sherry exactly? Aren't I enough for you?
You sure that's what Zalmoxis say in Book of Holy?
Nothing natural could cause such terrible disease at mere touch. If you ask me, I say dark magic, maybe even source at its root. Fuck that foul thing! A terrible disease. It transforms flesh of living into flesh of corpse, while infected person still lives. Arms grow black and heavy, legs grow black and heavy, hair rots from scalp. Cielo helpo min! Oh, what memories I have.
Goodbye.
Do a salutoin, Hunter. What can I do for you? I will do my best to give answer, Source Hunter.
Contemplates what it must have been like to see a horrid plague ravish Verdotter's homeland. He puts his hand on her shoulder consolingly.
Aw, they're interacting for like the first time. Like how these guys are just chill with me taking their stuff.
Welcome be, O seeking souls, to this holy house of immaculates.
Diligently will I read the words of the goddess.
Loch, your holy one.
I am Loic, enlightened one among Immaculates, spokesman for the holy conduit, as she is spokesman for the goddess herself. Hers is the blood. Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them.
Immaculate.
We are the chosen ones of the goddess. The benedictions of the blood render our bodies and spirits unblemished, for such is her mercy, that we may all become part of the sacred soul. And you too, Seeker, could become one such part. The conduit, yes. She, the most exalted of all, second only to the goddess. It was she who brought us first her divine words, then her divine will, a will made real in blood. Truly, though, she is quite beyond your concern, O wandering soul. She stands so very high above your humble station. The goddess is the light and life of all. Corrupt is the world that generations of men and beasts have left behind, but immaculate it may be once more, cleansed in the blood of the unworthy. The few, the proud, the enlightened, theirs will be her kingdom. When red has run until no red is left, a paradise we will have shapen, and the goddess will dwell among us.
Those guys seem like freaking radicals.
You find yourself in the goddess's temple, therefore it follows she wants you to take the true path. So here, have this hallowed tome, read it, absorb the wisdom within, then find the second part and do with it the same. If an immaculate you want to be, a test of knowledge shall be your first step towards enlightenment. Do you hold it to be true, O Seeker, that you are ready to be tested?
Oh.
A most sacred trio of queries shall I
should read that first, probably.
But even if thou falterest but a single time, unworthy will thou be deemed of the goddess's love. Your unpreparedness disappoints me. But an immaculate is not born, he is made. Made you may yet be, through study, devotion, and diligence. Then it shall be my pleasure to answer them.
The blood of the lost will flow!
Anyone else to talk
Blessed be the
in
goddess,
here?
and blessed be the conduit.
I like that there's Russians here and French people and all that kind of jazz. Okay, that's enough exploring the town for now, I feel. See you in the next episode.